Hey, good evening, guys. I wanted to hop on here and make this video to talk about the second year anniversary of my book, My Diary of Our Extraordinary and Collaging Souls, and just talk about. I'm like blanking out. No, I'm just talking about the experience of these past 2 years and just parts of the journey that just how it's been, and experiences and things that I've done and really cool things that are all tied to the book being out. And I'll make a separate video just talking about the book specifically in detail, or just different talking points about that. But this is more just like celebrating, the second year anniversary, 2 years of my book being out, published into the world. Thank you if you bought a copy of the book, read it, shared it. It means everything to me, and I am so deeply grateful, and it's such a dream come true to me, and it's still surreal, and I remember everything, and it's so beautiful. And just thank you for your support. And this is just the beginning for me. And I'm just gonna talk about it. So 2 years ago, I published this book in October 2nd, and immediately that I remember that whole week vividly, leading up to it. I had everything planned out, from I self-published it through Amazon, so I had full creative control over the process, and that's something I'm very proud about, that I'm an independent artist, independent author, and I'm fully in control of the creative process, and that was very important to me. And if you're an artist or an author or writer watching this video, I want you to know that there are many ways to go about getting your work out there into the world, and I am very much the type of person that doesn't take my I take pride and integrity in my creative work, and my creative art, or my art, and I care deeply about it, and I know that, like, once I put this out in the world, like, I have to stand behind that. And I don't take lightly the I just care, and I just it means a lot to me. Let's put it that way, to not take too long on that. But there's many ways to go about it. There's nothing wrong with going to a publisher. There's nothing wrong with going to somebody that does that professionally, or reaching out. Or there's so many different opportunities out there, and there's new ones being made every day. And the cool part of being an artist, you can create your own opportunities, and you can seek those out, and then you can make new ones and pave a new path. And I'm very much an example of that, and I'll talk more about that as this video goes on, just talking about my journey specifically. So the week leading up to it was so sentimental towards me, and I just remember soaking in, like, every moment, because this was it, man. This was a decade of my life, coming to life. You gotta think about that, man. It's just like, I've been writing and working at these poems for so long, and over, like, periods of my life, phases of my life, different versions of myself, and things I was going through, and different chapters. And things change. That's life. And yeah, it's just a culmination of all those things, hitting, it's like it starts to hit you once that time comes. I had that date once it was accepted that my book was being published, all of the details were done. So yeah, it was just all those moments leading up to it that really just like me soaking in those moments. And I had the idea of making this video that came out that I really love, and I think people loved it too, of me just recording out in nature with my camcorder. Just this, pretty much what I'm doing now. This is the same camcorder that I'm using for that video. Yeah, gorgeous end of September days, and I've always loved fall. Fall's my favorite season, but it was very important for me to get the book out of this time, like during that time, and I wanted to like make it special, and that was my way. It was like that, make this time capsule that I can always look back on and just like, yeah, I made that happen, and I'll always remember those moments, just going out, just like really soaking in, leading up to it. And I'm so happy I did that, and it's like, I don't know, it's probably my favorite thing I've done. And I'm happy because it's all tied into this. I mean, yeah, sure, you can say it's a promotional piece, but it's much more than that, because it's my legacy, and it's an extension of themes of the book, and just me as a artist and my artistic footprint, and just me as a person. These are just things that I love, things that I outwardly express into the world that come from the deepest parts of who I am. And yeah, so I'm really happy with how the release came about. And it was just the most magical time, honestly, for me. And I'll always be happy about it and grateful. It was amazing. It all just worked perfectly, and I don't like to say that to sound a certain way. It just was. I don't think it could have turned out any better, honestly. Yeah. So that, and then I have so many poems that I wrote in this book that all stand on their own, and that's something also another thing I'm super proud about that I've did, and I'll touch on it in that separate video that I'll make. But I made spoken word videos that I made after releasing the book in that first year, all shot on my camcorder, putting classical pieces behind it, to make it this very like cinematic experience. They're very DIY. They're nothing crazy, and it's just my own vision. It's nothing too, what's it called, like innovative. It's more just like, it's just creative. It's creative, and it's unique to the experience of this book, and it can stand on itself, because that's how the book is written, as a collection of poems. So you can find this video, or you could find this poem and just like really soak that in, but also know that it's a part of the whole as well. It's part of this grander story that's being presented. So I'm very happy about those two, and I still want to do that, and I will. And those were a lot of fun to do. It was very new for me too, because I wasn't very like outspoken, I guess, or very vocal on my channel, and just like, it was very new, just doing spoken word. These are all just written poems, they're not, it's still like poetry, the medium. It's just a different it's just a different like avenue, Spoken word is with the voice. Poetry is just usually written, That's just this is the art right there. But it's all the same thing, It's just a different way of expressing it. And that's been a lot of fun. I've gotten a lot better doing that, and I want to expand upon that. And part of these vlogs is me doing that, just becoming more vocal and expressive, and really I get to connect with you guys in a more personal and deeper level, and this is just me talking about that. So if you saw his videos, this is the thought behind it. You know, I love classical music, and I love cinematic sequences and aesthetics. All that ties into the poems and those videos from the book, and it's just a unique experience. You know, it's my book. I want to create a unique experience for the people that are supporting it or are thinking about buying the book, or you know, I've already bought it and reading it. So yeah, I'm very happy about those. A very cool idea I did as well in that first year. And this was like half and half, because this was half like me. I had this idea already thought about, but it wasn't like fully fleshed out, and it was kind of just feeling how things were going before actually jumping the gun and doing it. But I had this idea of writing a letter, writing a note, and I would go out in nature or just out in public and leave my book, you know, the physical copy of my book, there with this specific letter, this specific note, handwritten note, you know how I do it. Yeah, old school, handwritten. Hey, I'm in here. Old school, handwritten. And I think I did that for around 10 copies of my book, give or take. And it was just the most fulfilling experience, and it's so unique to my journey, and I'm so thankful I did that. And it was just like it's hard to explain because it's so in the moment, you know. I'm out here living the experiences, and I'm not just like portraying an image, you know. This is my life. It's a lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. It's who I am, and but sharing it on social media was just part of that. Just showing like, hey, this is something I don't have to do. This is something that I'm doing because I want to spread these messages, and I want to do something unique, and I want to stand out, and I also want to give people a unique experience that they wouldn't have gotten elsewhere. It feels all connected in a very just unexplicable way. It's extraordinary, pun intended, right? So yeah, writing those letters and just really speaking from my heart and pouring that out. It's talking about hope, love, optimism, words of encouragement, words of community, words of uplifting, connection. Talking about important themes, you know, I feel like that are taboo or just not spoken about, or people are afraid to speak up about, or just messages people need to hear. There's a lot of things, and I agree to this, and everyone can agree to this, really. At least at some point in their life where you've received a message, or you receive a piece of media or art, a piece of art, and you're just like, yeah, I really needed that. I didn't know I needed that, but I needed that. And that's another thing I was hinting on, you know. I was trying to hit that pulse of like, yeah, dude, I want to give something to someone that they didn't know they needed, but they needed to receive it. And part of that is just my belief in God, but also to know that it's bigger than just me as an individual, and it's bigger than just, you know, money or even the book itself. Like, as human to human, like, I care about people, and That's really the intention behind it, you know, spreading love in a unique way. And that's why it's tailored to me, because this is what I love, you know. I'm a writer and I want people to have that experience. So if you were one of those people somehow watching this video or stumble upon it, who knows, years ahead, if I still want to do this, you know, I want to do this as long as I can, and, you know, make it special, make it unique. And if that's you, you know, put a message down here and let the people know, let me know, or talk about it, talk about your experience. Because those are one of ones. Those letters is one of ones. I took a picture of those letters, most of those letters, those notes, but I didn't do all of them, and also I didn't share. I think I've shared one of them, but it wasn't like on a wide scale, you know, on my social media. So very much kept those private, all of that private. So that's for you to keep and you to receive. Even if you didn't keep it, or you just received it while stumbling upon my book, that still counts. And, you know, and that was amazing. I did have a few individuals reach out to me. I feel like you guys know who you are if somehow you're watching the video. Yeah, I'm very thankful you did that, and that was part of it. That was kind of the fun, exciting part of doing that. It's like, I didn't know if people were gonna reach out back to me. I left my my Instagram handle or my email, like if they didn't have that, to reach out to me if they wanted to. You know, I'm not gonna pressure somebody, especially like a personal message or an experience. Like, you don't have to. That was the thing. Like, hey, if you want to, here it is. And it like blew my mind that a few people did actually reach back to me, and that just speaks to, like, it speaks volumes to like the journey and what I was trying to do, and just like the love is real. And it was very full circle moments for me, and very eye opening, and it was very like gratifying, honestly. And I don't know, there's not many words to like explain it. It's just like such a unique experience and feeling, and it's just like it really lights your heart up, man. And that's why I love doing it. And I knew like there was a possibility of that happening, and that it happened. It was just like, yes, like it's I don't know, it meant the world, honestly. So that whole experience, man, it's like and I'm like working, you know, I work full time too, and I just make time to do this. This is for not just artists, but like anybody in general, man. If you want to go, if you have a dream, you got to go after it, and you got to put the effort, and you got to really want it, and you got to go after it and do it, and make the time, make the effort, and you can make it happen. You just gotta put intention, put meaning behind it, put your heart behind it, and good things will happen. Honestly, I'm a testament to that, and I've seen it, and I'm part of that story, and I want more people to do that, honestly, because it's beautiful. You know, it just makes the world a better place, and makes you a better human. And yes, I just remember it was like, it almost became a routine, honestly. Like, I would wake up, have a location, and just like, I just felt like I was in a movie, honestly. You know, and that's part of me talking about this experience. It's very special and unique to me. And it's like, I'm living the dream, man. It's like I'm living the dream, and I'm actively doing it, and that's I want to fill people with inspiration, and living that out is just like something you can't explain, man. It's just like felt. It really is. So when I'm going out to these random locations in my home state, you know, places I've never been, it's special places that I've been multiple times, that are like touchstones for me, that are like very important places for me, that they're like out of the way, you know, but they're they're important to me because they're like spiritual touchstones that I remember specific moments in my life when I discovered these places, or how I felt in those moments, in those places, in those locations. And in the new ones, it was like that opportunity to have this beautiful moment of just like going out, writing these letters, these notes that are just coming from the core of me, ripping my heart out onto these notes for any human to stumble across, and having my book that I just released and just giving this out in the world. It's just like a pulse, a like a beating heart that just I put it out there in a specific location. You know? It's beautiful, and in those places that are recurring, that just made that I've been before, made those touchstones even more important. You know, I went to them when I needed to get out of my head, when I needed to be by myself, when I needed to feel things, feel what it is to be alive, really understand myself, understand where I come from, and really allow me to feel connected in moments where I was depressed, where I felt like I didn't have anyone, where I felt like wasn't understood, felt like when I was, there's moments where I was unemployed and I'd be out in one of these places and I'm like, okay, these very specific moments, like, who am I? Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this wasn't. Life has to be more than this, Or there's just all these questions and thoughts running through my mind, but I go out in these beautiful places and they teach me things, and I carry those places with me, and those locations were specifically chosen for like personal reasons from me, but also the new ones were so I can create new memories and new touchdowns, and hopefully pass it on to somebody else. A huge another intention is just like passing the baton. This book, I want this experience with this book to live outside of just these words, and that was always the intention. That's just how I am as a creative and artist. It's never solely about one thing. I'm not a singular I'm not a one-note artist, I don't think it takes a rocket science to figure that one out, And walking the unbeaten path and just creating ways and new paths for myself and people that are receiving these messages and are seeing the journey and are really seeing this for what it is, and seeing that I'm putting my heart and soul out here, man, and it's not easy, and it never was easy, and maybe it looks easy on social media, but it's not. It's never just a final outcome. You got to think about all that goes into it, man, and I put all of it in. I put 100% of myself into this, and I see in artists too. That's why I am a cheerleader for artists and underdogs specifically. It's because I know what it takes, and I know the intention, or I know the intentions. I can see the intentions, but also I can see the effort, and I can appreciate and really embrace artists in a very empathetic way, and just I love seeing it, and I understand. I think that's the biggest thing. I understand, and the things I don't understand, I don't understand, and I want to understand, and I accept that I won't understand everything. I don't. And that's the beauty of it, That's the uniqueness of everyone's journey, too, that gravitates people of all different walks of life. Music, art, and film, all these forms of expression, man. This is what draws people. This is what connects people together. Yeah. So, yeah, when that journey completed, I think it was 11, yeah, because it was 11/11. It was, I remember that post I put. No, but it was 11 books, and it was just a continuous, beautiful journey. And I will just always be in awe of that experience that is specifically tied to this book, you know? That's what's beautiful. It's coming from this beating pulse. And that was the coolest thing, you know? And that was like the most exciting thing. I'm still excited because, you know, this is in me, you know, and I'm so happy to finally share this. I've been putting this video out for like the longest time. I'm so giddy because, you know, I care and I love this so much. Yeah, no, when the book came out, man, like, cried tears of joy, obviously, but it was like, it was mostly excitement because, like, I've been sitting on this for a while, and to have just a brand new, like, I just knew it was the start of something fucking beautiful for me, man. It was like, it's so hard to explain, but, like, it's felt. A lot of this is just like hitting me because I'm not going off script or anything. It's just, you know, off the dome, off the cuff type of video. And man, it's just like you're walking, you're opening a door and you're walking into a brand new world. It's like you get the chance to live a whole new life, a brand new start of a new adventure, and that's what it was, wholeheartedly for me. And I took that and I ran with it, man. And I ran with it, and I encourage any artist out there to run with their ideas and run with their projects and run with anything that they're called to do, man. Just go after it. Because I know if it's in you, you can't hide from it. You can try to distract yourself. You can let your mind play tricks on you, because that's what it loves to do if you let it. But man, if it's in you, you gotta let it out, man. You gotta let it out, and it's been the most rewarding, remarkable journey of a lifetime, really. So after that, a new part of the journey was. So that was the cool thing about that first year, where those was that journey specifically with the letters and the notes, and sharing posts online, different poems and stuff. Alright, the camera died on me. Well, I ran out of battery, but I'm gonna finish this video here. So, picking up where I left off on the tail end of the first year, second year. Basically what I was saying is, like, I've been adding different iterations of my book since it's been out. Hardcovers, summer editions, and this new edition that I just released on October 2nd. The second anniversary edition. And I plan to, you know, continue this almost like a tradition, I guess. Just honoring the book and the journey. And yeah, so the first hardcover editions, because I first released it, I believe it didn't have a hardcover, or at least it was pretty much the same version, right? I added my film photography. I do film photography, as those who been following the channel, you know, you've seen the film photography compilations, or just see me on social media, you know that I do that, or in person, whatever, you just know I do it. But I added that in those editions, and I'm happy I did. And yeah, it kind of just brings like a cool visual aspect to the book that I really love. I love photography. So it was just like combining those passions together is awesome. And the first year anniversary, I did a poem at the end of the book called Leap of Faith, and I also did a spoken word video on the channel. So that poem's already out, but it was added on the date of the first year anniversary of the book being out, which I was super proud of. I love that poem. Then this next anniversary edition, I added a poem called "Seeing You Alive," and I'm kind of seeing the trend here of like these poems just being like where I'm at in my life, and I like that. I kind of like that a lot, of like where I'm at in my life, and I can look back too and be like, okay, that's sort of where I was at in those years, or in this era of my, or in this time of my life, sort of, because it's almost like I'm dating it, but I'm not, because these poems are more than just a journal entry. They're not even that. It's just interesting to see the mind state, sort of. I don't even know if you want to call it that, but I just noticed that. I was like, okay, wow. I wrote Leap of Faith a year ago. Oh, I'm writing this now. You know what I mean? So it's cool to see where that can take me. I want to do that as long as I can. That's another beautiful thing about being an independent artist. You can do cool things like that. I don't need a say from somebody that I've never met before to tell me like my vision. If you got a vision, you know better than anyone. So that's just a beautiful perk of that. So I'm always riding for those types of artists, and I'm being one of them. And I'm like, I know the benefits, but I respect all artists. Regardless if you're independent or not. I recognize that it's not the pros and cons of both. You know what I mean? This just works for me, and this is what I like. So I'm rocking with that. But second year, man, beautiful things happened, beautiful manifestations. I got to do a book signing event in a town where I live. Shout out Cake Smokes Bookstore. I want to talk about that experience in depth, honestly, in a separate video, just because the battery's probably gonna run out here in a little bit. But I don't want to ramble too on. But it was a beautiful thing, It was very new, and this is something I wanted to do too. So I'm glad I made it happen. But I want to talk about like the manifestation of me actually making that happen in depth in a different video, because I think it's awesome, and I think it's something people can learn from and have takeaways and apply that to their life, sort of thing. But the experience overall was beautiful. I got to like be in front of like the public and the community and strangers and people. Just being a part of like an event like that was beautiful, and it's just like something I'll always remember and be super grateful for, and just proud of being surrounded by local artists that doing the same things I love doing, and just connecting with people and people listening. And I was also listening to their stories too, and it's just, and I had friends show out and support, and family, and it's just such a beautiful event, and I'm just so like thrilled that it even happened. It's just beautiful, man. It's really hard to explain. If you ever done something like that, or had a body of work being presented in front of somebody you've never met before and having to talk about it, is just a beautiful thing. It really is. And those who know, and those who don't know, I hope you experience something similar, It's awesome. It really is. And I want to do more of it, and I intend to. Whether it be this book or the next or something else, It's all just part of me. But really awesome thing that I made happen this year. Also, I did my own I had some leftover books from that event. That I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I kind of did like my own version of what I did before in that first year of writing a note or like in a letter and keeping it in the book and dropping it off. I did that, but instead of announcing it, this was a little more subtle. I would just make a post and just show like a picture of little messages I wrote in the copies of the book. I didn't leave the location, so it was more, I guess, ominous of the outsider, but also more special for the person that happened to stumble upon the book and happened to, get it and read it and just have it be theirs, and just have those messages being specific to that copy of the book that is not going to be in any others, very unique experience, and it's just one of one, you know what I mean? And I could share some of those images, on my social medias, and I have on like Instagram and stuff, but I'll show them across the board, but they're just like a little like words of encouragement, hope, optimism. See, instead of like a letter or personalized note, it was just like these phrases just on the cover of the book, that you'd open and you would see them, you'd read them. And I signed those books too, just like I did with the other ones. So those copies are signed from me specifically. And if you were one of those people, once again, feel free to let me know in the comments or talk about the experience. That would be beautiful if that were to happen. Yeah, so just like words of love, encouragement, hope, optimism. Yeah, just uplifting people and spreading a positive message. That's what I'm all about, man. That's what I'm all about. And that was a good amount of copies too. I think it was around the same amount, maybe 10, maybe a little less than that. Yeah, just around the number the first time. It was such a beautiful thing, And what's cool about that experience, those experiences too, is very similar to the first time, but it was different because I was just out doing photography. I wasn't really too focused on making that the whole thing. It was just kind of just carried my book with me, found a cool little spot, dropped it off there, and just kept going on with shooting photos, exploring, adventuring, what I already do. So it was just kind of I want to say random, but it was just in the moment, very spontaneous, and it wasn't like super as planned out as the first go around. You know what I mean? So yeah, very fulfilling experience as well. And when I didn't have any books left, I was like, wow, this is it, man. Like, I'm going to talk about this in the book signing, because those two events tie into each other, because it's like a whole manifestation thing come to life. So definitely, if you're watching this, be on the lookout for that video when it comes out, because it's just going to be touching on that, as well as another video I'm going to make that's talking about the book in detail, and that has a lot of cool, interesting, stories in itself, and I probably won't get to everything in that video. So that's what I'm saying. And if you want to ask me questions here on this video, feel free to leave your questions in the comments, and maybe I'll include that in the next video, or I'll try to respond to it, whatever the case may be. Or just hit up my social medias, whatever you want to do. I'm very open, so definitely feel free to do that. So trying to conclude this video has just been, the past 2 years has just been the most beautiful whirlwind of my life. It's just been a dream come true, and I feel so happy and so grateful and so just fulfilled. And I really don't have a lot of words to describe it, man. It's kind of just, I'm living out my life's. I feel like I'm living out my life's purpose, and it's just wonderful, wonderful the things I've got to experience. That just living in my truth and living a passionate and like vibrant life is not only what I strive to do, it is what I do. It's just because it's just who I am. It's so indebted to the type of person I am. And you know that if you've talked to me or if you've had long conversations or, you know, even if we only just met once, like, I don't know, you probably just get that sense, or, you know, I'm very expressive with who I am, and I try to connect with individuals in any way I can. And it's all love at the end of the day, man. So I want to just hint on that. And you know, all of this is to say to inspire, you know, people, inspire the next generation of artists, inspire people in my community, people that feel like they don't have a voice, or people feel like they don't have what it takes, or people that, you know, you can be well established. You don't have to be on that side of the fence. That's the thing, like, it doesn't really matter, man, because like inspiration is all around, and I'm inspired by all types of people, all types of artists, all types of human beings that you wouldn't expect, right? Or you would have no idea. But that's the beauty of life. And that's what keeps you going, you know, that's what keeps me going. That's when I see something, or when I find something out, or if I create something, it's like, wow, it's like a boost of life. It's like a boost of a new cycle, a boost of a new adventure, and it's just like this burst of creative energy and life and all the things that I love, and it just bow, bow, bow. And yeah, it's like fireworks, man. Those who know. If you don't know, man, I want you to experience that, even if it's not in a creative field. If it's just, it all applies, and it's all relative, which is the cool part about it, of the message that I'm trying to get across here. I love what I do, and I hope you get to love what you do, or, you know, find something you're really passionate about, find something that you want to spend time on, or find something that you want to feel like you're constantly learning something new, or wanting to share, wanting to express, wanting to explore, because that is that's part of the beautiful experience of life that we're all lucky to be a part of. And, you know, it all ties together in this very unique dance, you know, from the clothes that you wear, to the music you listen to the interactions that you have, to the lack thereof, you know what I mean? Or what's yet to come, or what will never be. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying, and I hope this video reaches you guys, and hopes to give you a broader perspective on not just me and my journey, but just maybe insight into yourself as well. And it's, yeah, I probably gonna look back and like wish I could articulate things better, but it's, I'll see me in person or just I hope you stick around, or, you know, I hope I can continue to take part in your journey, and meet you where you're at, and you can meet me where I'm at, and we can just be a part of our journeys together and learn from each other. And that's what I want this channel to be to be as well. It's embarking in new ventures and expanding on what I've already built and what I continue to spread. It's all important and all vital, and I'm very passionate, and I'm just very excited and happy about how things have turned out. Can have turned out better, and I'm just thankful for all the love and support out there. So thank you, and all the new faces and new people, I welcome you as well, and I hope to have you guys around. Dark, you've been rocking me for years, for a while now. You know what's up, and this still will be new to you as well, because it's new to me, and yeah, and I just hope I hint down these things of like, it's all very tied to who I am as a person, and this has all been just a dream come true these last 2 years of this book being out, and really seeing this vision come to life has been the biggest blessing, honestly. And those who are close to me can see that, family especially, and I'm just so excited and so fortunate, and I want to continue on pushing boundaries for myself and others, and I'm just really stoked to see what the future holds, and just continue living in truth and living in my purpose. And yeah, man, 2 years, baby. It's hard to wrap my mind around just from where I've been. So be on the lookout for those videos, honestly, of me talking about the book in detail, or as much detail as I can in one video. So that'll probably be multiple videos anyways. Then the book signing video as well, that'll tie into pretty much the second year book tour journey thingy as well. Just be on the lookout for those videos. Hopefully not too far in advance. I just want to get those out there for you guys to soak in, and I just want to share it. So yeah, I think I touched on everything. Obviously this is just the tip of the iceberg, and I want to continue doing more stuff like this. And yeah, I think I'll leave it at that, guys. Love you all, and thank you if you stuck around to the end. You're awesome. And yeah, we all have something to celebrate. And if you've been a part of this journey, no matter how long, this is something to celebrate. And it's for the dreamers and creatives out there, as well as people with a dream, people that are passionate, people that wake up and want to make a change and make a difference in their lives, people that are building, people that are in the dark, people that fight for a cause, people that want to see their vision come to life. These are everyday people that you come across, or maybe that you haven't had the chance of speaking in a very in this kind of candid manner. Hey, but I'll be that guy any day of the week, 'cause that's just who I am. So let's all get there, and this is for you, and this is for everyone. And yeah, man, that's it. Happy 2 years, baby. Hope to see you guys soon. All right, see ya.